We need to move. Time is going, by the way. Oh, my goodness, it's 10 past.
So, it depends.
Yeah.
Women go through what we call a sexual maturation cycle. Like a woman, a cougar, a woman who is past late 30s into her 40s. Normally, women reach the cougar stage, which we call a rediscovery phase, where they are rediscovering their party years. And at that time, women become very sexually active or even promiscuous. And women like those can actually date shamba boys, because at that time, what they want is the horizontal activity. They don't care about this man's ability to provide and his status and so on. So it will depend. And I think a woman who would be engaging in that is a woman who is just looking for the sex. So you just need to understand that. And I think it's something I've explained in Unplugged. The other thing that men don't know, which is a secret that women have and many men don't seem to know, particularly men who are friend-zoned, is that hypergamy does not care about relational equity. And this is what this means. You can find a woman who's a single mother. Okay, she got divorced, particularly the ones who got divorced. And you find a man who steps in, he says, I'm going to play stepdad for these kids. I'm going to take care of you. I'll even do a church wedding for you so that in front of your peers, you get the validation that, I've got a man. And the ones who thought that nimeishiwa, nimepata mwanaume.
Hapa ni wapi?
Yes, hapa ni wapi sasa. So many men go into those relationships thinking that if you give her this kind of lifestyle, this woman will love you and is going to actually honor you and be with you in the long term. What normally happens is that the men who do this, in case you run into trouble, maybe you lose your job or your business goes into trouble and you're no longer able to provide for her, then she kicks you out. And most men are surprised that I've done so much for this woman. Nimemoana kuna watoto hata si wangu. Nimemtoa huku Mathare, nimempeleka Kileleshwa. I've given a very nice house. Nimemtengenezea mama yake nyumba, hata nimemtengenezea nini. And this guy doesn't understand. So guys need to understand that hypergamy does not care about relational equity.
You remind me of that gentleman, the one who was on Twitter. You saw how he lamented.
Oh yeah, that young boy. Yes. So those are examples. Even the Kalenjin fellow, the young boy also, who was a watchman. And
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
The one who murdered and
yes, then he took himself. Life. Yeah. Yes. So those are things that men don't know. And many women know this. And when the reason women know this, when their brother is involved or their son is involved, you will see how they intervene. But when they're discussing on social media among the sisterhood, they don't care. They'll tell you, where you take care of the children. Why you want to have this woman but not take care of the children? Why don't you do that? But when it's a brother or a son involved, these women are going to say no.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen too. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that, because then they're also quick to identify that woman who is taking advantage.
Yes.
And they can see them a mile off.
They can.
But it's very difficult when it's a friend or somebody just passing through. Maybe it's easier for us to bash each other.
Or if you're talking on social media, they'll defend that woman. In fact, they'll tell this man is irresponsible, he's selfish, and so on. Yeah, so that is what happens. And this is a secret that guys need to know, that the fact that you're investing in her does not mean that now you have an emotional investment from her. You're going to do all that, but when she's done with you, she'll just throw you out. So people need to understand the difference between being desirable and being attractive.
So do it expecting nothing, or don't do it? Because should it, the other thing is we ask ourselves this question. Every time we do something for someone, must it be because we'll get something back?
The reason we do it is this. It's an investment. You're supposed to think like a businessman. And this is a problem men have. Women think about relationships like business. Men think about relationships in a romantic way. And that's where we fail. You're supposed to think like a business. So for example, when you're just doing things for a woman and it is one way, she's receiving. Umetengenezea mamake, amesema asante, yaki wewe ni mzuri, yaki I thank God for you. You are the best blessing I ever had. Anakuambia hivyo, you're getting nothing in return. Unaona? You do something for her, she's just accepting. That is now what we call simping. Simping means an unequal exchange of value. You must be in a situation where she is also reciprocating. That is when you invest further. But if you're investing further and further and further again, thinking that she is going to have a moral sense to feel that she owes you, many men fail that way. Women don't operate like that. Women are very, very practical. If she figures that you've run out of your shelf life and you're no longer able to provide value to her, she's going to kick you out. Because women prioritize survival. Women are not romantic. And that's why even during Valentine, it is men who are supposed to do romantic things. Women are not supposed to be romantic. So when men are becoming romantic, they go too far. They forget to think practically. But women are always thinking practically. So that is what guys need to know. We normally talk about what we call economic refugees. You find a situation where a man who has worked so hard and made himself rich, he gets a woman, he plucks a woman out of poverty. You know? This woman has nothing, her parents have nothing. Unajengea wazazi wake, unasomesha ndugu zake na madada zake, unamsomesha. Most of the times it ends very badly for these guys. Because these women are very, very practical. Hata kama ni mwanamke ambaye akupendi, she's going to accept all the things you're bringing. Her parents are going to really praise you. You are a nice young man. But once they feel they have extracted the value they wanted, they'll just move on. So guys need to be very, very careful. Don't get into a situation where you are becoming the United Nations in someone's life or UNHCR. You are not the government. You're not people call it a refugee program or a feeding program. You need to get someone who is almost of equal value than you, so that there's reciprocity. You give something, you get something. You give something, you get something. Think about relationships like a business.
But you see where emotions are involved, it's very difficult to see that. Do you see how many times guys are, really lamenting when this business that is a relationship goes down up in flames?
Yes, it's because they approached it.
I saw a video of a guy. I don't know if you saw that video of that guy. That guy who was on the hood of a car. I should have sent it to you. This car is driving and this man is on the bonnet and he's hanging on there, and the other guy is asking at you, what is going on here? And the guy shouts at you, she's my baby or something. He's trying to stop her from from driving away.
Yes. Now that one is something we talk about. It's there in Unplugged. Most of the times that is one-itis.